You might have noticed, some people don't spend much time blaming situations or searching for someone else to explain what went wrong. Instead, they quietly take ownership of what happens in their life, not because everything is their fault, but because they understand something important about control and growth. Today, we're breaking down the psychology of people who take responsibility and why this mindset often changes everything about how they grow. 1. They focus on what they can actually control. Most people tend to look outward when things go wrong, blaming the situation, the timing, other people, or just the circumstances around them. But people who take responsibility don't stay there for long. Instead of getting stuck on what they can't change, they quickly shift their attention back to what is still within their control. The way they act, the decisions they make, the way they respond to what happens next, because they understand something very simple. The more attention you give to things you can't influence, the more powerless you start to feel. But when you redirect that focus toward your own actions, you slowly regain a sense of control over your life. 2. They don't waste energy on blame. When something goes wrong, many people instantly look for where the fault lies. But people who take responsibility prefer progress over blame. They ask a different question. What can I learn from this? Instead of getting stuck in frustration, they move toward understanding. And that shift alone changes how quickly they recover from mistakes. 3. They respond instead of react. When something unexpected happens, most people react immediately. They speak before thinking. They act on emotion. They respond in the heat of the moment. People who take responsibility create a small pause between what happens and what they do next. Even when things feel unfair, they try not to act out of emotion, because they know one impulsive reaction can create a bigger problem than the original situation. So they choose clarity over impulse. 4. They see mistakes as feedback, not failure. Most people fear mistakes because they feel final. But people who take responsibility see them differently. To them, a mistake is not a stop sign. It is information. Something didn't work. Something needs adjustment. Something can be improved. And instead of avoiding that discomfort, they use it to refine how they move forward. This is why they often improve faster over time, even if they don't start as the best. 5. They build self-respect through accountability. Over time, taking responsibility changes how a person sees themselves, because every time they own their actions, they build internal trust. They stop depending on excuses. They stop hiding behind circumstances. And slowly, they start respecting themselves more deeply, not because life becomes easier, but because they stop running from it. And that inner stability becomes the foundation for real confidence. People who take responsibility are not perfect. They still make mistakes. They still face setbacks. But their difference is simple. They don't run away from what happens. They face it, learn from it, adjust, and in the long run, that mindset often leads them further than talent ever could.